Hi, Jeremiah Hales, Empower Physical Therapy. Today we're going to do a really fun video. It's a program that I've learned many years ago, almost 17 years ago, from someone named Tom House when I was being certified with the National Pitching Association's Foundation Fitness Program for baseball players. And I've adapted it for golf over the years, and I love this program for helping my athletes who are struggling with baseline strength issues. Could be an adult athlete recovering from injury or surgery, or a youth athlete who's never really taken the time to develop their core muscles and the muscles that create stability through their body while they're playing their sport. We're going to go through it today, a little bit different format than how Tom taught it, but it's going to be an upper body, lower body cycling, kind of back and forth between those two parts of the body. And we're also going to be using some props. So you want to grab a chair and make sure you have a kind of a blank wall. I'm just going to turn the camera so you can see. You should have a nice blank wall because we're going to use that for some push-ups and some wall presses. So the first exercise we're going to do is arm circles. So arm circles are a great way to warm your shoulders up. We're going to start with our arm circle, just some small ones moving forward. So when you do this full program on your own, I want you to do about 10 reps forward and then 10 reps backwards. Notice the circles are pretty small. My stomach is pulled in, my glutes are tight, and my shoulder blades are really active. Now we're going to go to a medium arm circle. So we're a little bit bigger arm circle. Still keeping the stomach and the glutes and the shoulder blades engaged. We're going to go backwards. We're going to reverse arm circles. Remember, on your own, you're going to do somewhere around 10 reps. Once you kind of memorize this pattern, now we're going to go forward, big arm circles. Hands are coming together in the center. And if you notice from the side angle, I'm not really breaking the plane of my body. So I'm not reaching really far back like that. I'm staying in line with the plane of my body, bringing the arms all the way together in front. That does a couple of things for me. We're going to switch directions. It helps protect my rotator cuff primarily. I don't really want to impinge my shoulder. When you reach really far behind your body, you can do that. Puts your shoulder at risk. So there are arm circles. Good. We're going to give the arms a little bit of a break. Then we're going to grab a chair, and we're going to pull a chair over. And we're going to work on knee raises from a seated position. So you're going to have a seat on the chair. You're going to sit nice and tall, proud chest, stomach is in, hands hanging by the side or holding the legs of the chair is fine. And we're just going to raise the knee up. We're going to go 30 reps. So count this out on your own. The main thing with this exercise is what I don't want to see is people slouching. So this is bad. Slouching's no good. We're going to keep that chest strong, keep the stomach pulled in, and try to disassociate that movement. So really just working on strengthening the hip flexor and allowing that psoas muscle to stabilize against the spine. So really working on a stable spine from the side. It's going to look like this. So pretend I've done 30 reps in my right leg. We're going to do 30 in the left. Stomach is in, chest is strong, and we're going to raise that knee up and down. It's not going super high, so this is the right way to do it. The wrong way, again, we're slouching. That's the wrong way, right way, just like that. Good. Then we're going to stand up again, and we're going to work on shoulders again. So we're going to kick the chair to the side, and we're going to do some sawing motions or cradling motions with the arms. I like to get my athletes into an athletic stance. My golfers, we call it golf stance, but stomach is in, chest is strong. Again, I'm working on engaging the muscles, my lats and my teres major, minor muscle groups. And I'm just working on rocking. Now notice how the elbow stays bent at 90 degrees, pretty close to 90. Now my palms are down. So we're switching palm positions. This one I want you to go for about a minute, and then we're gonna go thumbs up. So 3 hand positions, it's palms up, thumbs up, and palms down. Okay. Golf setup or an athletic stance, stomach is in, legs are strong, maintain that spine angle. Good. So the next exercise, we're going to bring the chair back in, and we're going to sit on the front of the chair again, similar to the last exercise, chest is up, stomach is in, hands at the side, and you're just going to raise your leg and touch your heel as high up on your shin as you can without slouching. So I just noticed us slouching a little bit. We want to keep that chest nice and tall, and I'm a little tight in my hip rotators, so it's tough for me. We're going to go for 30 reps of this one too, and if you're really flexible and you have a nice strong hip flexor, you'll be able to get that leg all the way on top of your other leg without slouching. So the right way to do it, chest is up, trying to cross that foot over. Wrong way to do it, you're slouching or you're kicking up like that. Don't want to do that. I want to try to isolate just in that leg motion. So we're going to switch legs, work on the left leg now, trying to get that foot high enough and over the top of the knee. Again, tough for me, a little bit easier on this side. Good, so after 30 reps, you're going to stop, stand up, we're going back to the shoulders. And this time we're going to do a cross body saw. So last time we did a kind of in line with the body. This time we're going, legs shoulder width apart, nice and strong, stomach sucked in, and we're going to cradle across the body. And what I try to do on this one is I try to switch my hands each time. So I'm going palms down, palms up, palms down, palms up. Good. I'm staying strong through the chest. I'm feeling my back working. Shoulder blades are moving. Getting a good rhythm. From the side, I'm in my golf stance or an athletic position. Weight's kind of in the middle of the foot, maybe towards the ball a little bit. Just working through those motions, warming up the shoulder joint. Just like that. Okay, we're gonna go for a minute. When you're done with that exercise, we're gonna pull the chair back into the rotation, and we're gonna do a mini squat. And this is a great exercise for people that have undergone knee surgery, hip surgery, foot or ankle surgeries. And it helps to teach stability, and it helps to strengthen the small muscles that create dynamic stability. So we're not really working on strengthening the big body mover muscles. We're working on the small muscles that help create stability while you're moving. So the exercise, absolutely love it. It's a sneaky one. It can get tough after a while. We're gonna go for a minute, but you're gonna grab the back of a chair. Notice I'm in a little bit of that ready position, that squat. If I'm gonna shoot a free throw or I'm gonna get ready to hit a golf ball, I'm in that nice, good setup position. Feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. I'm going to put my hands on the back of the chair, and what I'm going to do with my feet now is I'm going to bring them together. So now my feet are touching, my knees are touching, and I'm going to rock front to back. Now, what you'll notice is I'm not straightening my knees all the way each time. I'm keeping my knees bent, and I'm staying kind of low in that squat. And after a while, I'll start to get really fatigued in the top of my knees and in my hips. My spine is staying nice and straight. If this exercise is easy for you, a step up or a level up would be just to cross your hands over your shoulders and just work on holding that. Trying not to slouch. We're gonna go for a minute. You should feel strong through the legs. Nice. Okay, then you're gonna take a break, and we're gonna go back to a shoulder exercise or an upper body exercise. We're gonna move into what I call a palm press, or what Tom calls a palm press. You're gonna set up again in that athletic stance. This time legs are wide, feet are a little wider than hip width, maybe shoulder width apart. You're gonna take your hands, you're gonna press them together, and you're gonna push in as hard as you can, getting a nice contraction in your chest. And I want you to feel pressure through your thumb, your index finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, your pinkies, the heels of your hand. Everything should be pressing nice and tight. And then you can kind of wiggle back and forth like this, getting a little wrist stretch, all while maintaining pressure. And then you can also work on rotating. So I'm going to turn my fingers toward my chest, and then I'm going to roll my fingers toward the camera. Good. Stomach is pulled in, chest is strong, good contraction. Back and forth, just like that. Perfect. I'm going to go for a minute. And after a minute, if you're working hard, you should be fatigued through your core. Really important to get to that level. You're only going to get out of this what you put into it. So if you're putting a minimal effort in, you're going to get a minimal output. If you're putting a maximum pain-free effort in, then you get a maximum output out. So remember that with these exercises. The next exercise, we're going back to the legs, and we're going to do a knee raise. So we're going to get our hands on the back of the chair, and we're going to drive the left knee up, and we're going to reach the left leg back. So left knee up, left leg back. So this is a sneaky exercise for developing stability on the leg you're standing on. And we're also getting the added benefit of hip flexor strengthening going forward, and then of course hip extensor strengthening going back. So we're going glute, hamstring on the way back, psoas, iliacus on the way forward. Now the leg I'm standing on, we're working gluteus medius, TFL, piriformis, all those stabilizing muscles around the hip. If you're really good at this and you've got good strength, you go to one leg, cross the arms over the shoulders, and work on that patterning without any help from the chair. Okay, so we're going to go 30 reps or 1 minute on a side. So you'll switch sides, and then knee up, drive it back. Good. If you need the chair, keep the chair close by. Might be surprised what happens. You start getting tired, you might want the chair. A lot of times people, when they get fatigued with this one too, what they'll do is they'll start leaning. They'll be like, if you see yourself leaning, you gotta stop. You gotta get yourself back straight, strong and straight. There you go. Stomach's in, nice. The next exercise we're gonna do is another palm press, but this time it's behind your back. And palm presses behind your back, I think, are like 4 times harder than palm presses in front of your chest. So you can get up nice and tall, take your hands, reach behind your back, press your hands together as hard as you can, chest is up, and try to hold that for a minute. You want to level up, you can try to press your palms together here. I don't have a lot of flexibility in my wrists, so that's actually really hard for me. So I'm going to keep my hands in this position. And if you can keep your hands off your back, that's even better, but it's really hard to do. Good, so that's the behind the back palm press, and we're gonna go back to a leg exercise next. So for the next leg exercise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on getting into a squat position and moving our knees side to side. And that looks a lot like this. You're gonna actually come down, knees together, you're gonna hold this position, and you're just gonna work your knees right and left, just like that. So we're actually doing an isometric. So if you notice from the side, I'm coming down into this kind of quarter squat, and I'm just working the knees side to side. So you really are getting a nice isometric contraction through your hips, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. And I want you to work on this for about 30 seconds. Be careful though that you don't overextend side to side. This is just kind of a little wiggle. Okay, it's not a huge motion. I'm trying to keep my stomach off of my belt, pulling it in toward my spine, and working on controlling that motion. The next exercise is a shoulder rotational isometric. So we're going to work on external rotation isometrics for the shoulder joint. You're going to take your right arm, you're going to stick it out from your body so that your upper arm is sticking straight out, and your elbow is at 90 degrees. We're going to flatten that forearm to the ground so it'll be parallel with the ground. You're going to take your left hand, you're going to put it on top of your right hand, and you're going to press up as hard as you can with your right hand. At the same time, you're going to press down as hard as you can with your left. So we're going to fight for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then we're going to take a little break. And again, this is something where you get out of it what you put into it. So if you're working hard, you get a lot out of it, but it has to be pain-free. So now we're going to switch our palm position. So the first one we did is palm down. Second one's going to be thumb up. You take that left hand, put it on top of the right hand. You're going to drive up, push that right hand up, but you're going to push down to the left, and the battle begins. 5 to 10 seconds, and then take a break, shake it out. Third set, palm down, left hand on top. You're going to drive up toward the ceiling, fight in the battle, 5 to 10 seconds, and then release. And do the other side. So, palm down, right hand on top, push up with the left hand as hard as you can, 5 to 10 seconds. And take a break. Good. Shake it out. Remember, you get out of it what you put into it. Right hand on top of your left hand. This time the thumb is up. You're going to drive up as hard as you can. 5 to 10 seconds. Take a break. Shake it out. Thumb down. Right hand on top. Press up as hard as you can. Let the battle begin. 5 to 10 seconds. Good. Rest. Take a little break. Now, we'll switch sides again. And this time we're going to take our right hand and we're going to put it on top of our left hand. So we are going to be pushing down. The first time we pushed up. Second time we're going to push down. So right hand on top of the left, pushing down as hard as you can. 5 to 10 seconds. Take a break, shake it out. Thumb is up. Bottom hand I like to keep flat. You're going to push down as hard as you can. 5 to 10 seconds. Take a break, shake it out. Top hand, thumb down. Bottom hand, palm down. You'll lock it in. Press down as hard as you can. We're isometrically strengthening the internal rotators this time. So the first way we did it was external rotators. Second time we're working on internal rotators. We're going to switch sides. Last set, we're going to go right hand on top of the left hand this time. Whoops, sorry, screwed that up. We're going to go left hand on top of the right hand this time because we're working the internal rotators. So we're going to push down with the left hand, up with the right. The battle begins. Isometrics, gotta love it. Take a break. Second set, we're going thumb up, bottom hand. Doing it again. Could be a little confusing. Hopefully I'm not the only one out there. So we're going to go left hand on top of the right hand. We're going to push down, strengthening the internal rotators. We're going to hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Fighting hard. Good. Rest. Nice. Okay, last one. Thumb down. This time I did it right. Okay, right hand underneath the left. We're going to push down with that left hand, but we're pushing up with the right. Holding for 5 to 10 seconds. You got it. Good. And rest. Perfect. All right, now we're switching back to the lower body. And this time we're going to do our little mini squat with our toes together. And I'm going to show you from the side first. It's kind of hard to see from the side. I might angle the chair a little bit. My toes are touching, my knees are touching, and I'm going to get into that isometric hold position again. So my stomach is in, chest is strong, getting down into that little quarter squat, and I'm just wiggling back and forth with my knees. So working on controlling the body angles from the side. You can see that my spine is still pretty straight. Stomach is pulled in, and I'm just cycling my knees. And that little bit of a soft bend. I'm not fully straightening, kind of staying down in that quarter squat. Incredibly fatiguing after 30 seconds. You can make it to a minute. You're doing a great job. All right, so for our next exercise, we're going to get away from the chair. We're going to do an upper body wall press, and we're going to combine that with a balance drill. So I'm just going to rotate the camera, and we're going to find, it's really important if you can find a nice blank wall. It's not always possible. You might have to take a picture off or something, but you're going to stand about either 1 foot or 1/2 of your foot away from the wall. So the way I like to do that is I'll put 1 foot against the wall, and then I'll stick the other foot at the end of that foot, and then I'll step over like that. And then you lean back, so your butt's on the wall, and then you put your arms up. Now, the exercise, this is the starting position, but the exercise is actually to hold your body off of the wall so that no part of your body is touching except your hands. And you're supposed to hold this for 1 minute. Now, you might not be strong enough to hold it for a minute the first time you do it, so build yourself up. And it might mean that you have to keep your hands a little bit lower, and that's okay. So after a minute, you're going to take a break, rest, get your energy back, because the next one is even harder. So we're going to go palms up. And I didn't move my feet, so if you notice, I'm still one of my own feet away from the wall. Palms are facing the ceiling, but no other part of my body is touching the wall. Just my palms, and I'm going to hold this for up to a minute. And then I'm going to take a break. Good. And then the third set is going to be palms down. So we've gone palms forward, we're going palms up, The last one's palms down. We're doing that to strengthen your shoulder in different ways. It's amazing how strong and conversely weak your body can be just based on subtle rotations of your upper body and lower body, which is why we had our toes pointed in on the last little squatting exercise. We're trying to strengthen your hip joints, your ankle joints, your knee joints in different positions so you stay healthier in life and also in the gym. So last set, we're going palms down, one of your own feet away from the wall. Chest is proud, chest is strong, good. Pressing against the wall as hard as I can. I'm only going to get out of this what I put into it. I don't like wasting my time. But it has to be pain-free. So right now, I'm checking in. I've got no pain anywhere, just some fatigue through the shoulders. I'm pressing back as hard as I can. I'm going for up to a minute, and then I'm taking a break. Now we're going to transition from that straight into a balance drill. So we're going to go, I like to keep people next to the wall so you have something to grab onto if you lose your balance, but we're just going to get that knee up nice and high. Thighs should be parallel to the ground, and if you start losing your balance, you've got the wall to touch to keep you true. Okay, people cheat with balance drills all the time. They lean back or they drop their leg. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the knee high. That engages your hip flexor, helps to stabilize your spine. If I see someone who's leaning back, I immediately know they've got a really weak hip flexor on that side, and that's something that we need to work on. The cool thing is that this exercise actually works on it. So it's a great way not only to improve the balance of the leg you're standing on, but the strength of your hip flexor on the leg you're raising. So you're going to switch sides. This is what it looks like from the front. Knee is nice and high, chest is up, stomach is in, glutes tight. It's always good to feel your muscle groups too. I can feel that glutes tight, I can feel this thigh is tight. I know I'm working those muscles. So when you do the wall press, what I want you to do is a wall press and a balance drill, and a balance drill, and then a wall press again. I wasn't very clear with that a minute ago. I do not want you to do all 3 wall presses in a row. You're going to get over fatigued, and I don't want that to happen. So let's combine it with some balance work. The next exercise we're going to work on, we're going to actually move to the ground now. And for this series, I'm going to use my table, but you can certainly use the ground. So we're going to get on your back, and we're going to work on holding, first thing I want you to work on is pulling your stomach in toward your spine. When you pull your stomach in toward your spine, you get a nice flat look to it. If you see a ridge line popping up, I want you to really work hard at pulling that ridge line in. And you might want to just hold your arms up for this level 1 exercise. Hold your arms up and work on pulling your stomach in toward your spine. Level 2 would be raising one leg up and maintaining that flat abdominal wall. So you really have to feel like you're pulling your stomach into your body, and then you put the foot down, and then you raise the other one up. Notice how slow this is. We're going for 5-second holds with your leg in the air. So 5 seconds up, pulling the stomach in toward the spine, putting the foot down, 5 seconds up. Good. Switching. We're going to do this for 1 minute. Back and forth. Okay, we're going to pair that up with some hip raises. So when you do your hip raises, I just want your hands by your sides. Raise up as high as you can, and we're going to go back down. So that's level 1. We're going to do this for a minute, really work on engaging your glutes, and then lower back down. When you're done with a minute, we're going to go back up to this one, where we're raising a leg, pulling the stomach in toward the spine. If this is easy, then what we can do is put 2 legs up, and then both legs down, really working on pulling that stomach in toward the spine. So legs up, legs down. We're going to work on that for a minute. After a minute, we're going to work on a little bit different hip raise. So you're going to raise your hips up, and then we're going to work on raising a knee holding for 5 seconds, putting that foot down, raising the other knee, holding for 5 seconds. If you get really bad hamstring pain or cramping, I want you to go back, to revert back to the first version. So you'll be doing this. If your hamstrings feel good, nice and strong, no pain, then keep up with the elevated march. So you're keeping your hips in the air and marching, switching back and forth. So that's where I want you to start with the Tom House Foundation Fitness Program. It's a great program for developing strength throughout your body. However, what I just showed you is a small portion of it, and there's actually more to it. So what I'd like to do is have some follow-up videos with this program and some of the other exercises that are part of it. Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment below. I'm always happy to help.